Hello, good evening. My name is Amaka Eze. I'm a director with Gopatel Resource Center. And today we will be sharing our journeys, our experiences, and the wonderful things we are doing for our community here in Ottawa, which we would want to extend to, people in Sudbury. And without much ado, I would like to quickly share my screen. Thank you. Thanks for your time. So, who are we? We are Gopatet Resource Center, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to helping newcomers adapt to life in Canada. Our services will include settlement. One minute. Settlement, settlement and assistance, guidance and educational support, job search assistance, and general support. Like we said, Gopates Resource Center is founded by my husband and I, Godwin. We came to Canada in the year 2019, January, with our two children, and we came as refugee claimants. And we walked, through the local borders into Canada. And then I found that even though I held a Cambridge degree in education, I struggled to find work because Canadian employers were not at the time, favorably, disposed to foreign certifications, even though Cambridge is one of the schools, that is popularly sought after. It was very discouraging, but we are focused, and we realized that many immigrants and many immigrant families we are facing similar challenges. So at the time we went for a hearing, we returned back to school, and I studied paralegal, and my husband also studied, logistics, and it was a beautiful experience. And we found that getting a Canadian education, we break down the barriers. And that's why we started to do what we do. And we started talking to people, talking to organizations, talking to refugee claimants like us, and even people who came with their PR and they were struggling. And then that was how Gopatet Resource Center was birthed. The major aim of this organization is to bridge the gap for mature students and to help others realize their career goals and, properly integrate here in Canada. And because we have worn the shoes, we have walked this path, we know that many immigrants, despite being highly educated in their home countries, often settle for lower paying jobs due to barriers such as lack of local credentials, like I said earlier, time and finances. We came to Canada, and a year after I became pregnant and I had one more child, with 3 children, 2 toddlers and 1 teenager. It was a very difficult time navigating through school, work, career, and having to make ends meet and also put food on the table. But these were things that were really tasking, but at the end of the day became really, really rewarding. And getting an education in Canada is one of the major reasons that we are doing what we are doing, and also making us achieve the success that we have achieved. Returning to school opens door for career advancement and personal growth. What do we do? Our role is to connect immigrants with educational opportunities including accessible programs and flexible schedules. Like I said earlier, some of us may not be able, like me and my husband, to get up every morning and go to the campus and sit down with young people to study. So we have been able to navigate, and we have made connections, and we have formed synergies with schools that are offering, purely online education, and some of them hybrid education, and a lot of them in-person education. And we are able to tailor, every career opportunity and every educational opportunity to meet the specific needs of our teeming immigrant population. Now we talk about the benefits of going back to school. One of them would be increase in job prospects, higher earning potential, personal fulfillment, and focus on the next generation. We cannot overemphasize that for some of us who have children, we are the models after which they will pattern their lives. And when these young people see how focused and how determined we are in pursuing our career goals and ensuring that we're securing a better future for them, it puts them on a pedestal to compete favorably and to be determined and astute in their pursuits and various endeavors. We are here also to help people overcome barriers. And how do we help? Bridging the gap for mature students. We understand the challenges immigrants face, from high tuition fees to family responsibilities and the fear of starting all over. And one of the things we do is to provide financial assistance. We guide our clients to access government loans and grants available for education as long as they are eligible. We have flexible learning options. We work with schools to identify programs suited for mature students, offering part-time, evening, and online courses. Some of these courses are even PACE, and some of them are not tutor-led. We have support network from navigating through the application, the process, and also providing emotional support. We are with all our students every step of the way. And what we have also started to do since, the increase in tariffs and all of that, is that we have started to support our students with, food program. So we have started to do like mini food drive, especially for single moms or single parents and people who are just new in Canada and are just trying to find their way. So we connect people with financial aid programs that can help cover tuition, ensuring that finances are no longer a barrier to education. Low interest loans that you repay over the course of sometimes 9.5 years up until 14 years. There are grants and there are scholarships, financial assistance that doesn't require immediate payments. And there are innumerable, flexible loan options that can tailor repayment plans to your future earnings. There is accessibility. We are open to eligible students, including newcomers to Canada. How do we help? We guide you through the application process, provide information on available financial aid to reduce your tuition costs, help you access the resources and opportunities available for mature students, which I have discussed earlier. Are you ready to change your life right now? It's time to start your journey. Whether you're seeking educational support, job search, assistance, or general settlement and guidance, we are here to help. I know that right now things are a bit, unsettled. We listen to the ecosystem, especially the employment ecosystem. A lot of people are complaining that the jobs are going. People are going to school and they're not finding jobs. People have low job satisfaction due to COVID and the unstable economic environment and energy, conflicts and wars between nations. let's not forget that employers are also looking at the job system and they are not taking risk right now. But these things will change. Things will begin to tinker. The jobs will come back. But fortunately, unfortunately, only those who are ready and prepared will key into this dimension. It may look like it's going to take long, but it's going to happen. And all we want people to do right now is to get prepared, get that education, acquire that skill, upskill, upskill, upskill. Like I will always say, opportunity favors the prepared. Things will change, maybe drastically, maybe gradually. But like I said earlier, this is the time for people who are wise to make that single decision. And for people who are ready and willing to take the bulls by the horn, to take the bull by the horns, the time to do this thing is not tomorrow or next tomorrow, or the next hour. The time to make a decision to change our lives and to change our story and our journey in Canada is right now. It is time to get that education, and we are here to give you all the support that you need. We're here to answer all your questions, and we are also here to listen to your concerns, whatever they may be. Thank you so much. We have our office here in Ottawa. We are at room 203, second floor, 150 Montreal Road. We have our numbers on the screen, and we also have an email address. If anyone wants to reach out to us, that's our email address, and these are our numbers. Feel free to call. All right. And if there are questions, we are willing to take questions right away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amaka, and for this informative presentation. If you have any questions, you can send them to you can ask right away. If you don't have any question right now, you can still send them to me at kengoma@nobib.ca, or you can send them to Amaka. Amaka, if you can put your email address in the chat box.
Okay.
Is there any questions? Okay. I have one question.
Okay.
What are some of the most common challenges that newcomers face when trying to access education in Canada?
Okay. One of them would be challenging situations. Like in our case, we came with 2 kids, and we did not have a job, and we were not able to get the kind of job we expected. And then I became pregnant, and the family size increased. And the first time, we were broached with the topic of going back to school, we had all that to consider, going back to school with these 3 children and also being able to work and earn a living. So these are the most challenging situations, especially for people who have families. But right here we are able to support. We gave like emotional support, and now we have the flexibility to offer people different kinds of education opportunities, because there is online education, and we are here to answer questions. Another thing would be language. Some people that come from, some countries in Africa, some of them speak just French and some of them speak just English. And you come to a city like Ottawa where it is bilingual. Some of the jobs you need to speak both languages. So it becomes a challenge, And some of the people who speak French would find it difficult to go to pure English schools, right? So because we have like a community of educators that work in a certain school that are willing to give a shot to take people who are speaking just French and put them under a mentor that would help them navigate and hold their hands while they're studying. It makes it easier because it is one-on-one person, one person to one person as they journey through the academics. And then there is also the issue of apart from the finances that you get from the government and the grant you get from the government, some people do not also know how to manage their funds. And sometimes they get into trouble. So we are here to let you know this is what to do, this is what not to do. This is how to stick to it to ensure that your funding is not converted and you are on academic probation. So we follow you through. We are always in touch with the school to know how the students are doing. And if any of them is shaky because of financial or because of family responsibilities, we know how to go back to them and say, hey, you need to come back to your work, you need to finish this. And some people, due to emotional distress of having, immigrated to a new country, some of them, might have mental health challenges, missing home, and some of them, the weather might be a challenge. We are here to say to them, we've been through this, we have walked this path, we have felt the way you feel, and we offer, like a warm hug, a helping hand, and to, helping them, ensure that they go through their studies and come back with a good certification and make, a positive headway towards their career goals.
Thank you so much, Amaka. And I commend you for the beautiful work that you're doing with
Thank you.
students, because I know it's not easy when
Yeah,
you come to a new country, and yeah, so you're doing a good work with them.
thank you.
Okay, if there's no other question, I
I
think I
have
will.
a question.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so Amaka, I hear you talk about being able to navigate and stuff like that. So I want to know, for like, all I know about school is going to a traditional classroom, and coming from back home, coming from like our country, I only understand that. And also, I do not know how to use computer. And I'm in this new country, and I'm being told I don't have to go to a traditional classroom. Can you please break it down a little bit more on what that means by me not going to a traditional classroom and me having to use a computer and stuff like that? It's just, I just want to know, like, better,
Okay.
please.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for the question. Okay. For most of the students, even for some of the students who are going into traditional classroom, which means going to school every day, you have like a group of students studying together, and there is a lecturer or a tutor or a professor teaching every day. That's the traditional classroom. And there is the Zoom classroom or the online classroom, which also entails you signing on to Zoom and having, your classmates logged on to your classes, and there is a tutor, a professor, a teacher teaching every day. That's another type of classroom. And there is another type of classroom which is self-paced. That way, the school loads up the work for you, and you go in, one course at a time. Once you're done with a course, another course is loaded for you, and there is a mentor or a coach that is attached to you personally. That person, helps you to navigate, meaning the person goes through your assignments, goes through your exams, goes through your schoolwork, and is able to say, this is where you don't get it right. And if there is any day or at any point you feel uncomfortable and you think you can't do this alone, all you need is to send an email to your mentor, and they are willing to work with you. And right here, we have an office, and we provide, laptops for all our students. And what we do is to walk them through using the Microsoft Office, using the basic skills, in computer, and enable them to have access to learning, I don't know if that has answered your question, Ray.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm sorry if you don't mind me asking one more question. Um, I want to also know what's the success rate, because I mean, at the end of the day, the reason the end goal to go back to school is to at least have a career, right?
Yeah.
What's the success rate in terms of employment with the school? And sometimes we come here and we're confused about courses to take. Do you also guide on like choosing a career and stuff like that? And then, yeah, what I would also like to know, like the success rate in terms of gaining an employment after school, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. To be very candid, we have not been able to measure, in solid, terms what the success rate is, because there is not even any need to measure, because most of our students already start working even before they leave school. And a lot of them are able to either go a notch higher, or they leave that particular, employment, to a better one. So it's been one success story after another. I'm not sure we have seen one, one situation that is not successful. We have had people, we know a student who came here, not, he was a horticulturist. What I mean by horticulturist is that he does lawns. From doing lawns to becoming a network administrator. You know, we guide people into finding their innate potentials, because some of when immigrants come, they're confused. Their immediate need is to get fed, get clothing, get shelter. So at that point, they're not thinking beyond what that immediate need is. So because, like I said earlier, and I keep saying it, we have walked this path, we have lived this life, and we know, when you see a gold mine, one, and we do the job of saying, this is what is good for you. What have you done before? Are you PSW, or are you, working in cash? Or, there are people who would say, for people who are working in cash, we say, why don't you do accounting and payroll? For the people who are doing PSW and they do not like the career, we say, why don't you try community social works? And for people who love PSW, like there are people who love PSW. My husband works as a personal support worker. He loves his job and he still works as a personal support worker. So what we do is, can you go back to get a diploma and do the NAC licensing in such a way that you're not using, a piece of certificate that was picked off the streets, and you are enrolled in a proper school and you have a career. So we are able to identify the needs and potentials of people who come into our office, and we put them in a position where they're no longer square pegs in a round hole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, I hope she answered your question.
She answered, but that has brought up another question again, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So I want to ask, in terms of job and all that, I hear you say Gopatesh Resource Center is a settlement for immigrants, and I hear you say it's not even just about education, right?
Yeah.
So, if for instance one goes to school and all that, um, we can agree that sometimes the way we present our resume wouldn't be the same way a Canadian employer, like back home, as opposed to a Canadian employer. So, is this something that Glupatesh Resource Center would also help with, like to help like arrange the resume
Yes.
properly? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you know what you want, but you don't know how to put it
Present.
properly and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, is that something Glupatesh
That,
Resource
that
Center
that's
would do?
something we do, and so it's something we will continue to do. We do that for a lot of our students. They come in with resumes that are, upside down, and some of them don't even have cover letters. So we have volunteers, especially our interns, that help them, go through their resume, look at their profile, and they're able to come up with, fantastic documents that will get in through the door of every employer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Amaka, for the wonderful work that you're doing and for helping and supporting the newcomers. And because I know for a fact that it's not easy to navigate in a new country.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, if there's no other question, and if you still have more question, you can send them to me at kangoma at kangoma@yahoo.com, or you can send them to Amaka. She put the email address in the chat box. And I think we reached the end of this session. And thank you, Amaka, for being here with us, and for everyone for your participations, and for the question that you asked. And Amaka, thank you for answering to the questions. And I wish you a very good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Nabi.
Thank you.
Not beep.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was
Have a good
For the
evening.
opportunity. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Amaka. Hi, Godwin. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.